I personally think that the guitar, specifically the electric guitar, is the most expressive instrument that has ever been made, and up to this point. And I think for many reasons, because there are ways that the guitar can be used as a chordal instrument, as an orchestration in and of itself. The way the guitar can be, the strings can be bent and with vibrato and articulation and so on and so forth. It can do, even on its most basic level of guitar chord amplifier, can do more to kind of conjure up the widest range of emotion than any other individual instrument. And then you put on top of that all the stuff that high tech kind of brings to the fore of being able to, soundscapes and so on and so forth. And then you bring the visual aspect of the fact that it's almost got this like weapon-like, presence on stage, and it can be wielded around in a way that kind of has a universal and timeless appeal. I think you put all those things together, I think that's why the guitar will endure. And to be honest with you, I mean, there's so many different eras of guitar that, one generation forgets about, and then somebody kind of rediscovers this thing and like, oh my God, that's unbelievable. And, and some people might say, well, how come they don't appreciate the original stuff? Yeah, well, that's not their generation. But all of that stuff can be culled and reintroduced time immemorial, and then added on with the new stuff, that whatever new music might be created, that kind of make it a timeless instrument. I was talking with the Wildwood owner, Steve Mesplay, this morning at breakfast. The founder of Wildwood Guitars, Steve Mesplay, who was a great guitar player, great musician in general. We have a lot of the same tastes of music. And I was talking about listening to early Fleetwood Mac. And a lot of people don't realize early Fleetwood Mac was a blues band. And the guitar player, Peter Green, many people felt of that generation of purveyors of Caucasian blues guitar that he was the guy, right? And of course there's, I find that this company, someone attaches their flag to one guy. That's my guy, and he's better than this guy. And it's almost like, they're battling some kind of blues war. But anyway, he was really, really good. And his articulation on the guitar was great. But if you listen back to early B.B. King, everything came from B.B. King. Even Freddie King came from B.B. King. Now, B.B. King, where did he get his stuff? Well, he got his stuff from Django, his vibrato from Django. And he listened to Lonnie Johnson. And he listened to a little bit of Booker White, which is his cousin, and all that kind of stuff. But then you got this guy, Danny Kerwin, that played with Peter Green, who was kind of a protege of Peter Green, that joined Fleetwood Mac, and he had this certain vibrato, but his vibrato was very more kind of Eddie Lang and Django Reinhardt, which of course is where BB got it from beginning. So there's this weird pollination of generations there. And then you got Paul Kossoff, who came around, who was in Free, and he had this almost kind of nervous-y vibrato, but it was cool. And like Joe Bonamassa, it reintroduces that vibrato and that kind of approach, which was similar to what Gary Moore did. So all of a sudden, all these people are listening to Joe Bonamassa, and Joe Bonamassa kind of is cherry picking all of these cool old vibratos and techniques and stuff of these guys that people have never heard of. And the new generation's like, oh my God, this Joe Bonamassa guy is great. I really like that. And that's going to happen over and over and over again, where these guys are reintroducing these different generations to people. Because as much as, maybe say, well, yeah, that's been done before, but not by a current guy. If a current guy does it, it makes it new again and cool. And that's always going to be the way, because there is nothing new under the sun. Let's just be clear about it, okay? Stevie Ray Vaughan is another classic example. There's people that are like, oh my God, Stevie Ray Vaughan is the greatest guitar player there ever was. And Stevie Ray's tone and his way of putting it all together were unparalleled. But when he plays a slow blues, he's playing Albert King licks, okay? When he's doing kind of his faster thing, he's doing a lot of Lonnie Mack things. He's doing Hubert Sumlin. He's doing Hendrix, okay? But yet he repackaged it in a way that was totally cool for that generation and future generations. So there will continually be that. And I think there's no way around that. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you could say, oh, well, so-and-so was more original. It's like, yeah, but is it valid to a listener of today who's just dropping the needle for the first time now and going, I like that? They might never make the connection to the fact that they might listen to John Mayer. They may love John Mayer and listen to that John Mayer live blues thing and go, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Not realizing, well, yeah, but if you listen to these guys, But that doesn't matter. The person is enjoying that, and the guitar has new validity for them at this particular moment because that guy turned them onto it, and that will continue to happen. And you can really drop the needle back at any different point over the history of guitar, and there's just so much cool stuff that some of it's just real guttural, feel-oriented stuff where it's the way someone bent a string and the tone and a limited scope of information, but the intention was so great that it's timeless. Or you got guys who played unbelievably technical skill. I mean, you look at John McLaughlin, or you look at Alan Holdsworth, or any of these different, Lenny Breau versus, the more guttural things of, Hubert Sumlin or, Hound Dog Taylor, any of that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of different stuff that can continually be reintroduced to a population that might not be hip to what has been. So I think in that aspect, guitar will continue to evolve, both as new different hybrids of all of what has been are reintroduced, as well as people who are really genuinely adding a new voice or a new technique to the fore. So it'll always be germane. Can you dig it?